Hey there, welcome or welcome back. If you've been following along recently, then you'll know that I'm doing a video series on virtual internship success tips. I've already covered Zoom tips, networking strategies, and communication best practices in the past 3 videos. This video is going to be all about how you can stay organized and track your virtual internship experience. Hit that like button if you're ready to dive in, and don't forget to subscribe for new videos every single week on this channel. Hey there, I'm Jenna Ryan from the internhustle.com, and this is Initiative Muscle Monday, helping you to start each week with an intentional step toward a successful future. Let's do this. All right, let's talk about strategies to stay organized at your virtual internship and my favorite ways to track your experience. Oh, and before I forget, go grab a copy of the free download that I created for you. It includes the ideas that I'm going to cover in this video, plus so much more to help you succeed at your virtual internship. The link is in the description below, so go get it. Okay, whether you consider yourself to be an organized person or not, organizing your work life at an internship can be very different from your personal life. Marie Kondo may have taught you how to spark joy in your sock drawer, but I'm here to spark joy at your virtual internship. Understand that your calendar can either be chaos or it can be organized chaos. I prefer organized chaos, and here are some things that I suggest you do with your calendar to help you stay organized during your virtual internship. Side note, for the purpose of this video, I'm referring to a digital calendar, like Google Calendar or Microsoft Outlook. These are the most common in the workplace, and they're used for meeting management, time blocking, and visibility. Now, you may use a paper calendar as well, like a planner or something, and that's fine, but for purposes of these tips, just note that it's a digital calendar. All right, first thing you need to do when setting up your calendar at your internship is make sure that it's set up for the time zone that you are currently residing and working in. This ensures that you are always referencing the calendar correctly for your time zone and that you're not going to miss any meetings. And don't worry, when you schedule meetings and there are other people involved in other time zones, maybe even other countries, the calendar system's smart enough to register the correct time zone for each person on their own respective calendars. So you don't have to worry about that. Just make sure that the calendar is set to the time zone that you are in. Next up is a tip that I want you to hear loud and clear. Always accept or decline meeting invites that you receive during your internship. Never leave someone hanging and wondering if you're going to attend a meeting or not. Clicking yes or no to a meeting invite organizes your calendar by confirming that this meeting is actually happening, or removing it so that it's not cluttering up your calendar with something that you're not actually going to be attending. But clicking yes or no or accept or decline to a meeting invite also tells someone that you're working with that you respect their time and that you have the ability to stay organized. If you have a conflict or you're unable to attend a meeting, one thing I like to recommend is to send a follow-up note to the meeting organizer when you decline the meeting, and then just give them a quick explanation for why you can't be there. And also send some alternate availability as a nice gesture. Now, this doesn't mean that the meeting revolves around you and that they necessarily have to reschedule it and reschedule it to the times that you suggest. But if they want to reschedule the meeting, it helps them out when they're trying to line up calendars across a large group of people. Another great organizational tip for you, and something that I recommend checking when you first start your virtual internship, is make sure that all of the recurring meetings that you have are set up and confirmed on your calendar. A recurring meeting could be the company all-hands meeting, and this is when the company holds a meeting across all employees, all departments, to give general updates. Typically, these are recurring on a bi-weekly or monthly basis. These could also be department meetings, so maybe you work in the marketing department and your team has a weekly marketing team meeting. Or it could also be a project status meeting for a project that you're working on, or just the weekly one-on-one meeting that you have with your manager. See this video for more on what I mean by one-on-one meeting with your manager. And if you set all of these recurring meetings up on your calendar in the beginning, when you start your virtual internship, then you're less likely to miss them, double book yourself, or just fill the day with so many meetings that you have no time to get your projects and tasks done. Speaking of projects and tasks that you've been assigned at your internship, I suggest adding due dates to your calendar for each of them. This is so that you have the visibility and a reminder to stay on top of your deliverables. You can also create time blocks on your calendar to work on specific projects that you've been assigned. This ensures that you're providing yourself with the time to actually get the work done, And in most cases, people will see those and work around your time blocks when they're scheduling meetings that they want you to be a part of, because they've seen that you've blocked off that time on your calendar and they're going to respect that. Get in the practice of establishing calendar boundaries for yourself and protecting your time. This is such a great thing to learn at an internship, especially at a virtual internship where you're working from home and work and personal boundaries can start to blur a little bit. Also, be sure to mark any PTO, personal time off, on your calendar. And there's less of this these days because of COVID and no one's really going anywhere, but vacations and life events will make a comeback. And so when that happens, make sure that you're blocking PTO off. And I like to do this as an all-day event on my calendar. Again, this helps people when they're trying to schedule meetings that they would like you to participate in. When they check your calendar and they clearly see which days that you're scheduled to be offline for, they're going to avoid those. The final calendar tip I have for you to help you organize the chaos is focused on when you're the person scheduling the meetings and sending out the calendar invites. Think about what information you would want to see in a calendar invite for a meeting, and then aim to include that. Things like location information. So for a virtual internship, this is the dial-in phone number for a conference call or a link to a Zoom meeting. And then also aim to include a meeting agenda in your calendar invite. If you're the one organizing the meeting, do the work up front to create an agenda and let people know what this meeting's all about. Even if you're not the one that's really in charge of the meeting, maybe you're just setting it up on behalf of your manager. Get some high-level bullet points from them that you can then include in the meeting invite, in the description, because this goes a long way in helping people out so that they can show up prepared, and it really enables an effective meeting for everyone involved. Now, I'm not saying that you have to put all of the meeting details in the calendar invite, because at the end of the day, maybe some of it shouldn't be visible to a broader audience and everyone at the company who can see the calendar. But you can put a high-level bullet point agenda in the description to get your meeting attendees a heads up. So now you know how to organize the chaos of your calendar. But what about your email? Email inboxes can get out of control fast. Establishing a few organization hacks when you first start at your virtual internship can really make all the difference. The best way to stay organized in your email is a folder system. So here are some ideas of email folders that you can create at your internship. Project folders. Think about creating a folder for each project that you've been assigned at your internship. And this is where you're going to store all of the emails that come in related to that project. You could create a folder for a department. So again, if you're an intern in the marketing department, I would make sure that you have a folder for that. The weekly recap folder. This is where you can store all recap communications that you exchange with your manager or a project lead. And then you can also set up a folder like something like company ops, company operations. And this is something that you use to file away general company information for your reference. Things like the company's holiday schedule or dial-in details for the company all-hands meeting each month. Really anything that is general to the company that you just want to keep in one central place for reference. Set up your email folders and then get in the practice of actually using them. Be consistent and you will feel so much better and so much less overwhelmed when you look at your inbox each day. The other thing I want to inspire you to do with this video is to track your virtual internship experience. Now, 2 of the ways that I recommend you do this, I've actually covered in past videos. So go check out this video for why you should be documenting your experience with an internship journal. There are so many benefits to doing this, so please go watch it after this one. I think incorporating an internship journal into your virtual internship experience is so important. Go ahead and check out my video on communication best practices for more details on weekly recap emails and why I think you should do them. This weekly recap email drives results. Learn how to send a weekly recap email to your manager or the people that you work closely with during your internship. The third method for tracking your internship experience that I am a big fan of is what I'm going to share with you now in this video. And that is a one-on-one worksheet. I've talked about one-on-one meetings and their importance before. If you missed that, again, this video covers it. But what I didn't go deep on yet is the worksheet that you can use in a one-on-one meeting for both visibility and accountability. A one-on-one worksheet is a document that you create and complete each week prior to your one-on-one meeting with your manager. I say you create and complete because a document like this should have one owner, and that should be you. Take personal responsibility for your internship and the experience that you get out of it. But while you are the one responsible for creating and completing this worksheet, it could still be a collaborative document. If the company that you intern at uses Google Docs or another document collaboration tool, then I highly recommend building your one-on-one worksheet that way. This allows you to send out a link to the one-on-one worksheet each week and give your manager an opportunity to preview what you would like to talk about with them and also add their inputs as necessary. When creating a one-on-one worksheet, here's what I recommend you include: the agenda for your one-on-one meeting for that week. Now be sure to assign owners and allocate time to each agenda item as well, so that the one-on-one time that you have with your manager is actually effective. Creating this agenda in advance forces you to think ahead about what you need from your manager, and it also may remind you to follow up with tasks that were assigned during the previous week that you forgot about. The next thing I recommend that you include in your one-on-one worksheet is a section for updates. So this is where you speak to any projects that you're working on and you provide status updates. And just as important as updates are roadblocks. So that's the next section, roadblocks. Listing out areas where you need help or where you anticipate delays on deliverables. And this gives your manager an opportunity to help remove these roadblocks for you by offering guidance or stepping in when necessary. And the fourth section to include on your one-on-one worksheet is action items. As you're having your one-on-one meeting with your manager, you are actively using this action items section to take notes. This is where you're recording any new tasks or follow-up items that you're going to need to take action on going forward. Also, be sure that you are recording a due date for each action item that you write down. These action items then become part of your update section the following week or in future weeks as they become due. And for the section that I think is most overlooked, but arguably most important, goals review. It's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day work. Both you and your manager will be guilty of this. And in doing so, you lose sight of the big picture and any goals that you may have set for yourself at the beginning of this internship. Make sure that you record your goals and your progress towards these goals in a section of your one-on-one worksheet, and that you dedicate a portion of your one-on-one meeting agenda to support this topic. Use these 5 sections that I just shared with you to create a template for a one-on-one worksheet that you can use with your manager each week. Create a template once, and then make a copy each week to track your progress and track your experience during your virtual internship. Those are my tips for tracking your experience as well as staying organized in this role as a virtual intern. Next week, I'll be back with the final video in the Virtual Internship Success Tips series. I'm going to be sharing suggestions for how you can add value and stand out at your virtual internship. Don't forget to grab your copy of the free Virtual Internship Success Guide, and then leave a comment below and let me know what tip from today's video was your favorite. Thanks for watching. If this video gave you some new insights, please give it a like and share it with a friend or two. Hit that red subscribe button below so that you don't miss out on future videos. In support of your hustle, I'm Jenna from theinternhustle.com, and I'll see you next Monday.